Dave East project is dope. And it's funny because he has actually been making consistently good projects for quite some time now. And, he's transitioned into other avenues that have worked for him. It's just it's like you said, it's like, I don't know, you're waiting for something to connect you to him a little bit more because the music is there. Like, I enjoyed this project. I was riding to it. I had a good time listening to it. And he's a dope rapper. It's just like, I don't know.
Something's missing, huh?
And I don't know what it is because the music is good. And I find myself always enjoying his projects, but I always find myself like not going back to them the way I feel like I feel like I don't know him still.
I'm gonna say this, and
Because I feel like I still don't know him.
I'm gonna say this. This is gonna sound harsh. I've said this before offline. I don't think I've ever said this on this show. But when rappers start acting, it's kind of over. It's like something is missing, and I was listening to B the other day. No, it's different, man. Like, I mean, you know how busy your day is, right? It's only a certain amount of time in a day. It takes a lot when you're on set. It takes a lot of your time, energy, focus, all that. You're not totally focused on music like that anymore, and you can tell the real listeners can tell when an artist has other things that they're focusing on than music. And I don't know. This weekend I was listening to Common's B. Incredible album, man. And regardless of, the way I feel about some of the moves he's made since then, you can't knock that. And that's when you can tell when people are totally all in. Like Magic with Nas and Hit Boy, what they're doing, you could tell when people are all in, man. And I think that Dave East is doing everything right, picking the right beats, picking the right features. He's rapping well, but it's just something where I feel like the focus isn't all the way there on music. You know what I mean?
I can feel a little bit of what you're saying and where you're coming from.
Matt Ned says LL acting never interfered with his music. I disagree with that.
Guys have done stuff and it hasn't like necessarily like interfered. But I do feel some of what you're saying. But I felt like, okay,
what
here's
about
what I'm
Ice
saying.
Cube?
Like no, you're making a valid point about Dave, and it's happened to other rappers before. But I feel like this was something that he was struggling with before the acting thing, because I actually feel like some of the musicality has been actually. I feel like he's been a better beat picker actually since he's been doing the acting thing. If you really want to know the truth.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel like he's made himself a more well-rounded artist, but it still hasn't resonated. And it's like, well, maybe he just hasn't made a record that's touched me yet. It's just all good music. Nothing's touched me yet. You know what I mean? And you wait for that record that kind of touches you or puts you in a place. Like, you want to know what? It's like, for as much as I was already like replaying the AZ's verse, "The Life's a Bitch," like over and over and over again when he first came out. Like when he dropped Sugar Hill, he made me a fan of his separate from Nas. I'm like, oh, that's AZ's vision. Oh, I can see that. I want a villa in the Costa Rica so I can smoke my reefer and enjoy how life's supposed to treat you. I was like, oh no, I can feel that. And so I feel like Dave hasn't had that moment yet.
Right. Let's get back to Dave, but people in the chat are ripping me right now. They're saying Pac, it didn't interfere with Tupac. Pac's a little different because he was actually an actor before. So it's like, him dialing back into that, I mean, he's trained. I would say him and Mos Def are slightly different. But when that acting is new for you, it's a little different, man. People said DMX. I feel like his music fell off a little bit after the acting. And they said LL. I feel like LL's material wasn't as hard hitting after, the acting. Now, I do applaud LL for holding down a sitcom and still holding down the rap career. I think that's incredible. That's a lot of dedication. But we can't sit here and act like he made Mama Said Knock You Out while he was acting.
No, I don't even think he made Lounging while he was acting, or the I Shot You remix, or Hey Lover, or
and Ice Cube. When was Boys in the Hood? When did Boys in the Hood come out?
It's 92.
It was 92? It's the last great album. That's the last incredible album he made.
No, hold on. Ain't the Predator 93? No, I made the Predator. Hold on.
The Predator's dope, but that shit ain't Death Certificate. Let's be real.
Oh, what year is that? No, you're right.
Death Certificate is 92.
Yes, same year.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a great year. You make Boys in the Hood and Death Certificate.
It's incredible.
After America's Most.
Yeah.
Lethal Injection show. Oh man, it's pretty gangster.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I think that the Dave East, man, it hits all of the parameters, and I like the features on there. You know, one time I didn't like the John Lennon song. I saw what he was trying to do, but you know, I just wasn't.
But that's what I mean about like connecting. It's like he hadn't made that record yet that I feel is going to connect him to a certain brand and a certain audience where everybody's like, oh, that's it, you know.
Was Boys in the Hood 91? Am I getting my years off? Let's see, real quick.
I was 10. I remember being 10. So it's 91 or 92, depending on when it fell.
Well, yeah, Boys in the Hood was 91, and Death Certificate was 92. So Cube did do it. But to sustain that for a long period of time is very difficult, and I got to give Cube props for that. So I said Ice-T.
He still made We Be Clubbing and Pushing Weight.
I love Push Rhymes Like Weight.
I love that record.
That shit is hard.
It is. That beat's stupid.
That shit is hard. Yeah. I think one of the things with Dave East, even when he dropped initially, like these are quality records, but he's missed. I don't know. Is it one of those things where the current era of hit making is just not with the East Coast style MC?
No, because I think that's what I mean about his beat selection and even in the artist selection. He's done a good job of diversifying and branching out of like a classic East Coast sound. So that's not an issue for him. It's the connectivity. It's like something's not sticking to the board. And I mean, because he's checking a lot of boxes, you know?
The real Leonard Washington says, I can't think of a single classic, memorable Dave East project.
See,
he's
that's
dope,
what I'm saying.
but something is missing with dude. I think we all feel the same way. Like,
it's always, how about this? He's getting real good for making us like a good 3.5, 4 of an album. Like he's getting like frighteningly good at that. And it's like, no, give me something a little better than that that's gonna speak. You know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think it is?
It's been so hard for me to put my finger on it because it's like, you want to know what? I rode to this album a couple times and I haven't played it since. And it's like that always happens with him, and I don't know why. Unless he just like randomly will come up on my playlist again, and I like him.
You know, when I was listening to this album, I was thinking, if we put him through the rating system, that shit's gonna be super difficult for me.
I don't know if he's gonna make the rating system.
You don't think we should rate him?
Ooh, I mean, how many MCs are we rating?
I thought we were gonna do 100. Do y'all think we should rate Dave East? Because me personally, I think Dave East is a better MC than Meek Mill.
Ooh.
I do.
Well, he's getting rated if you look at it like that, because Meek's getting rated. You want to know what?
Do you think Meek's better than Dave East?
Not me personally, no. But here's the thing about it. He does have a couple of records where it's like you connect.
Yeah.
He's connected a couple times, you know.
That intro alone.
The intro, yeah.
The real Leonard Washington says he needs to find the right producers that can tap into his potential, similar to what Madlib did for Freddie Gibbs. Yeah.
See some of that? Yeah. Yeah, because how about this? I knew who Gibbs was, and I liked him, but he's right. I didn't start really fucking with him tough until Madlib. Yeah.
Somebody mentioned him playing Method Man. Shout out to Charles Carter. I like Method Man's feature on there. Method Man killed that shit.
Like that record.
And once again, the features kind of outshine the artist. I mean, I felt like Benny did his thing on there too.
That's what I mean. The records are dope. He's got dope features, got dope production, but we're still walking away like, okay, that was good. Good job. All right.
It's interesting, man, because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'd rather listen to Jim Jones projects, and I'm just saying that because he Harlem.
No,
but I would have to say he's a better MC than Jim Jones.
Yeah, he is. But you want to know what? Like Jim Jones knows how to address his audience. You know, it's like I told you, MCing is very comparable to public speaking. One of those things about public speaking is you have to have the ability to know your audience and address it appropriately.
That's what
And
Jeezy did.
yes. And so he just hasn't found the audience that he can speak to properly and appropriately. And some of that could be like in finding the right producer. Like somebody needs to bring something out of him is how I'm feeling. Like,
You know
what?
what? The best thing I heard from him, in my personal opinion, is when he was going at that dude in his neighborhood, talking about
Right.
bringing something out of people.
That's what I mean.
That
I
diss
almost feel
record
like
was
maybe
crazy.
maybe he needs to work or do a project with like a major legendary producer to bring something out of him. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the project that him and Styles P put together. I mean, I know it's
do.
not a producer, but you know, it's him teaming up.
No, I mean like Pete Rock, DJ Premier, like somebody like big, where it's like Dave gonna have to like, oh shit, that's Pete Rock. That's the guy that made They Reminisce Over You and The World Is Yours and the saga. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the guy that made 10 Crack Commandments, New York State. Like I would like to see him behind the boards with somebody like that for a full project to see if they can bring something out of him because they're so great. It's like, oh no, if this project doesn't sound good, they're probably going to say it's because you weren't great, not me.
That's the double-edged sword when you're working with people like Pete Rock, Premier, and all that. It's never gonna be their fault. It's
Right.
like playing with LeBron James, man. It's like
But he might need that at this point, though, is what I'm saying.
I don't think his beat picking is bad.
I didn't say it was bad. I'm talking about bringing something out of him. As
You're talking about actually having a producer come in there and produce him.
Produce him, but also just their aura doing something to him that he ups the ante in the level of what he does.
Okay, let's just say this. He is of a certain generation. I think he's of the current generation, just based on his age range and how long he's been in the game. What does a hit song in this era from Dave East sound like?
See, that's what I mean. It doesn't need to be a hit. It just needs
He needs
to
that.
connect.
I think he needs that. Because what you just said, he's got a lot of really good songs. I don't think more good songs are going to do anything. He actually needs.
I wasn't even talking about Sugar Hill from the perspective even of it being a hit, even though it was a hit, it went platinum.
Yeah.
Think about this, like AZ shit was going platinum when Nas shit wasn't going gold.
But I'm just saying, Sugar Hill was a hit though.
No, it was. But I mean, part of why it was a hit was because it really did connect to the audience. It did. And he hasn't made a record that like really connects to the audience like that yet. And sometimes like the hit can be organic. I don't know where it's coming from, but for how long he's in it, those hits usually come organically at this point. You can't force it at this point.
Drew Hernandez says Joey Badass versus Dave East. Yeah, I mean, from what I'm hearing right now, that new Joey Badass is crazy. And he's acting too, but you could tell he put in that work on that one song specifically.
Right.